Hey folks, Adam here, and in honor of Halloween, we've got the craziest story that we've ever told. This one has to do with a man named Elmer McCurdy. He was a bank robber. He was a train robber, not real successful, and 60 years after he passed away, his body was found. They thought he was a wax figure. He was in a Hollywood TV show. This is a story that's going to blow your mind. Let's go ahead and check it out. We're going to kick it off right about now. So what happened is this guy, Elmer McCurdy, he was a moderately unsuccessful bank robber. In Oklahoma, he went ahead and he used nitroglycerin to go ahead and blow a bank vault. It opened up. There was a safe inside. He couldn't get into the safe. His lookout ran away. He was able to escape with about $150 worth of coins from the bank, but he unsuccessfully tried to rob a bank. Then he escaped to a ranch, went ahead and robbed a train, and then robbed another train. And in each successive time, he did not get into the safe. He tried to use nitroglycerin, and he was able to rob the conductors. He was able to take his watch. He was able to get some money off the stage, but he didn't actually have a real successful bank robbing and train robbing career in Oklahoma and the Texas area, Kansas. He wandered around and he was eventually caught on his friend's ranch, and he had a shootout with the police. Now, what happens to him is going to blow your mind, so you're going to stick around. You're going to click that subscribe button. Click the bell for notifications, and if you care, give us a like and a comment. So, anyway, this is a really cool story. He goes ahead and he has a shootout with the police where he is taken out. Dunzo. He's no longer with us. But what happens? This is in 1911. He tries to rob the banks. 1912, he has the shootout with the police. What happens? They take him to the coroner. They take him to the Undertaker. Not the WWE Undertaker, but to the Undertaker, who goes ahead and he embalms him, and he does all the formaldehyde and uses all the arsenic, and he stages his body, and he says, okay, somebody owes me money for this. I went ahead and I created this. I embalmed this person. Nobody claims him. The city doesn't want to pay for it. And because he's a bank robber, people, his relatives are not going to travel across the country and go claim this guy. Nobody wants to pay for the embalming process. So, the Undertaker can't release the body. Can't just give away a body. And he actually becomes kind of a part of a myth and legend of that area. So, the Undertaker sets him aside, and people kind of want to see the bank robber. They want to see the body. So because it becomes such a nuisance to the Undertaker, he starts charging people a nickel. Come in for a nickel, you can see the body. He even eventually gets so popular, small town, he sets up a room in the morgue at the funeral home where you can go in, see the body, and has it all set up, and you can see the staged train robber. In fact, it's so creepy that he has people throwing nickels into the mouth to pay their dues. I don't understand people of the 19 teens. I don't understand people of today. So anyway, eventually he figures out, what can I do with this? So he goes ahead. Freak Show comes to town and says, hey, we would like to buy that from you. So in 1916, the Patterson Carnival, the owners decided to come through town, pretend they were relatives of Elmer McCurdy, and they claimed the body, only to put him into the Museum of Human Oddities. So they claimed, hey, this is our cousin, we're going to take him. They took the body, they went ahead, paid the fee for the embalming, and they put him on display as the bandit who wouldn't give up, and they toured around the world, at least around the United States, showing off Elmer McCurdy, again, as the bandit who wouldn't give up. It gets even weirder. So by 1922, this guy's been touring around for almost a decade. By 1922, the Patterson Carnival needed some money. And they put up this figure, if you will. We'll just say figure from now on. They put up Mr. McCurdy as collateral on a $500 loan that they never paid. So suddenly it was part of another exhibit. Louis Sonny had a traveling museum of crime, and because they couldn't pay back their loan, it got picked up by Mr. Sonny. Now this went around, and even by 1933, about 20 years later, it was actually featured in a movie called Narcotic. So here's this guy. Now 20 years later, he's sold to a new group, and he's in a movie, and he's touring the West Coast as part of a museum of crime. Now, as time goes on, they kind of have to add wax to it, and they have to add paint to it and keep this body kind of in check and keep it looking good. So it gets less and less realistic looking. By the 1940s, this group goes out of business, and it's stored in a warehouse for 20 years. It's in a LA warehouse, which is eventually bought by the Hollywood Wax Museum, and it's put on display as a wax figure, as a mummified body. They don't think it's real, and by now you're not even, like, you can't just buy and sell Elmer McCurdy. That wouldn't be legal, but everyone thinks it's just a wax figure, and after sitting in a warehouse for 20 years, people don't even realize what they're dealing with. So I want to go ahead and read this part to you. This is pretty interesting. In 1968, Elmer was sold to the Hollywood Wax Museum and renamed the 1,000-year-old man. However, the museum closed after only a year, and somehow Elmer got grouped with the other wax figure dummies, all sold to the Newpont Amusement Park in Long Beach, California. The people who owned part of Elmer, it was just sold as a wax figure. So he was painted in fluorescent colors and hung for a ride called Laugh in the Dark. So literally, they painted this guy in fluorescent colors, and he was part of kind of a fun ride in Los Angeles. Now by the 1970s, it's California, and they're filming the TV show The $6 Million Man. Okay, so the $6 Million Man is going to be filmed at the Laugh in the Dark. A crew member of the $6 Million Man, now roughly 60 plus years, 65 years after he passed away, is moving what they think is a prop figure, which is from the ceiling, painted up, supposed to be a wax figure, and an arm falls off. And they realize this is a real person. And they have to turn it over to the police, and they say, we don't know what happened. They turned it over to the LA County coroner, who matched the remains as Elmer McCurdy. So by April of 1977, the people of Guthrie, Oklahoma found a burial plot for him, and they wound up burying him over 60 years after he passed away. So this person, who probably didn't live to be 25, 30 years old as a bank robber, spent the next 60 years being on exhibit, touring the world, and eventually wound up in Oklahoma, where he still lies today. It's an incredible story that I can't believe ever happened. So here's this individual who had a failed bank heist, got away with about $150 in coins, had a failed train heist, got about $50 worth of stuff, and a swig of whiskey and a watch, and wound up being an incredible story that you can actually look up in the Library of Congress. It is one of the most incredible stories I've ever heard, and I hope you liked it as well. Folks, go ahead and click that subscribe button. You know we appreciate you. Leave us a comment if you've got a story you think we should cover, and join us for Life with Adam and Amy. Thanks for watching, and adios, amigos.